Welcome to New York City. Boom, 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 boom. Where my glasses at? Hold up. Hold up. Where my glasses at? I am conflicted. Like anybody cares. Well, I mean, I guess if you're watching this, you kind of do care. And if you don't care, you've probably peeked in already, been like, a black guy, and left. Sorry. I don't know why. Okay. Sorry. Being funny. I'm conflicted because before we get into seven deadly sins, and I need my notebook to. Oh, there it is. All right. Because there's a bunch of stuff coming. I'm happy. Let's go, Merlin. That I'm not conflicted about. Well, I am conflicted a little bit because it's like this is the month where I said like, okay, I'm gonna calm down on spending. Got to be responsible, all that jazz. And then they come out with Merlin, and I'm like, okay, so like after this, I gotta calm down with spending and all that jazz. No, so no, the thing I'm conflicted about is I absolutely love Victor Wembanyama, and I like the people on the Knicks minus Cat. And I don't hate him. I'm not a fan. Um, I'm a fan of Brunson. I'm a fan of Hart, especially like the post game interviews and stuff. OG, I like. I'm a fan. But then on the Spurs side, I love Victor Wembanyama. I love Castle. I love Vassell. Vassell blocked Chet twice. Dylan Harper, I'm learning to like a lot. Keldon Johnson, I like a lot. Like it's two teams that I like, and the one thing that, and I would cheer for the Spurs, but the other problem is one of my good friends, Gabe. He ain't gonna watch this, and I'm not even saying his last name. He's been a Knicks fan since before it was. I mean, which wasn't that long ago. Like when it was embarrassing to be a Knicks fan. You know, what I'm, like where he was like, "We go hoop," and he's always wearing his Knicks shorts or whatever. Any Knicks is gonna be on him somewhere. And he wasn't one of those like delusional Knicks fans, which most of them aren't. He was just kind of like, "Nope, this is my team and I love them. Yep, they're trash, but I love them." You know what I mean? Like, and so now, like, I would want him to be happy and win a championship. You know what I mean? That's the homie. So I would love for him to experience. I'm a Lakers fan. I would love for him to experience like something that hasn't happened in 50 plus years for that city, and he would be ecstatic. He would lose his damn mind. So that it's gonna be a fun series. Anyway, there was a live stream yesterday that I did not watch live because I had a meeting that was right at, who does a meeting at 1. There was a meeting I had right that it only lasted for 20 minutes too. It's long enough to be in the way. That could have been a phone call. Um, yeah. Anyway, so I missed it live, but then I did watch it back. And I said I wasn't gonna watch the full thing, and I ended up just putting it on like what, like 1.5 speed, 1.25 speed, and then just watch the whole thing. And there was a lot of interesting stuff coming out. Act 14 coming out. Let me get over here and get some of these things out of the mailbox. Act 14 coming out, right? New enemy, Terran. I don't know who he is, and I know I'm saying the name wrong. The Knight, that dude. They have new game modes. They have a raid coming. It looks, and not even looks like they're closing down the dungeons, and they're gonna try to convert them into raid type dungeons. The boss challenges are gonna change the rewards a bit. So there's a good bit of stuff going on with this patch. Also, they mentioned this before, and I haven't seen it, and I can't wait. Hopefully, some of my guys join the stream. They said something about elite bosses not costing cube keys anymore, and that's a lie because it still costs me cube keys. So I, sup with that. And let me see. I'm gonna have to pull some more, but I do have, I think, enough platinum, and we already know what's about to happen because I've been waiting on Merlin. I do have enough platinum to make her, if the costs stay the same, which I don't know why they would change. If the costs stay the same for gluttonous weapons, I do have enough resources, I believe, stacked up to get her gluttonous weapon outside of whatever this is that we may or may not have to farm. I don't know what it's going to be, but I have enough platinum. I am going to get my SSR thing, so we should be good to form the gluttonous grimoire off rip, unless actually the new boss. Yeah, I think that's how this is gonna go. The new boss is going to probably be the resource we have to farm in order to get it. I'm good with that. So that is stacked and ready to go. With these 10, what's that other alert? With these 10 draw tickets, I'll just draw these right now, these randos. What weekly reward is this? Oh, craft. Oh, because I crafted it and then okay, and I claimed it now. That's the thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these tickets now. It doesn't really make a difference. And then I think I'll be one short of my next SSR, which I'm begging for King. Please, please let me complete my collection, please. But we shall see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dum, dum, dum. That song's gonna be stuck in my head. Welcome to New York City. It's gonna be stuck. It's going to be stuck there. Let's see. Do I get an SSR now? Probably not. Okay, so next. I got a lane. Dragon Resize have a 7 Deadly Sins collab. It's a new game. Huh? Dragon Resize have a 7 Deadly Sins collab. It's a new game. I'm not. I can't play the game now. I can't play NTE now. But I think you're saying wait. Are you saying that 7 Deadly Sins itself will now become a different game? Is that what you mean? Because I thought you meant there's another game coming out that's 7 Deadly Sins based, and I'm like, bro, I feel guilty because I haven't played enough Neverness to Everness. I haven't even done that enough. I keep saying I'm gonna sit down and play it, end up not. All right, I like Elaine. Okay, I do I use her all the time. I am missing one character for everything to be complete in my collection. One character. King. If I can get King, I want to scream. All right. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go to, I don't even know where I'm going. Let's go to the hero info. We're going to go to Elaine. She needs much better weapons. I'm saving the platinum and everything for Merlin. Stack her weapons up. And I think Elaine's the next one I'm going to work on improving her weapons. Diane came over her because she's a sub DPS, and I have Elaine to go in there, put up barrier, and then dip. I've not played City of Heroes. Yeah, see, I still haven't played City of Heroes yet. I haven't retouched on Neverness to Everness. I'm not behind on 7 Deadly Sins. Now it's just like a daily touchstone for 2 or 3, for an hour. Then I'm at, not even that, 30 minutes. I stopped playing Marvel Strike Force because I just don't have time for that. Elizabeth. You couldn't have pulled Elizabeth. Yeah. What's up, my bro? Batty Merlin getting added to the game now. Now that's all what it takes to get me to start playing. You still haven't started playing the game yet? No, 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 no. I'm super excited about Merlin coming in. I'm super excited about Merlin coming in. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait. And that is tomorrow, right? No, today is the maintenance on the 3rd or the 4th? Neverness to Everness has their update. I need to double check that too because I thought they had theirs on the 4th. Oh, I already had her P5, so this is taking her to P6, which does what for me? I mean, I'm going to activate it. I don't know why they even ask you. Just do it. It doesn't cost anything. What does this? What does this do? Increases the duration of normal skill barrier by 10 seconds and decreases the cooldown by 5 seconds. I like that a lot. A whole lot. What's the next one? Sorry, because that's the only one I ever use. Increases heroes all elemental burst efficiency by 10%. Okay. If I'm gonna run her with the staff instead of the grimoire, that's gonna be good. Okay. All right, that could be cool. Amplifies normal skill power by 20%. I never run her as a DPS except for going against the red demon to complete those achievements. So. But no, I cannot wait. So I was gonna say Ryu, random YouTube user, but I call you Ryu. Anyway, you hadn't tried it at all yet? I mean, I know we haven't spoken in a minute, and I have put up Bleach stuff, but I usually put up Bleach. I usually stream Bleach, I think, at a time that you're not able to. Oh, Dragon Ray, re-rise I pulled. That's what. Okay, the thing you didn't write Rhea in the. So it is a new game, Seven Deadly Sins collab, and you pulled Elizabeth. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. I'm assuming she's a healer, right? I'm assuming she's a healer. Okay, so are you going to partake in this fun free to play game, Ryu? Random YouTube user? You say you're gonna join one of us. You gonna join the Children of the Corn? You coming through? Are you? All right, so that felt good. I don't know why that sip of coffee felt really, really good. Okay, so at the moment, what I'm doing now, what am I doing now? Healer, yep. So Dragon Raya is a new game based. So Seven Deadly Sins is really trying to get their IP out there. Are they coming out with a new anime series or something? Because what is it? Golden Cross has been out for a minute. Seven Deadly Sins Origin is out now. And so then if they have another collab with a new game, it makes me wonder. What's up, MD? Long time. I think. Also, I'm going to try to, for those few of you who do watch, my streaming times are probably going to change to more like in this time frame when I do stream. And you guys know I use the streaming to like basically get my YouTube videos recorded and then just chit chat with you guys, have a good time. So I don't typically, I've tried to stick to a schedule more recently. And there's a thing happened in the background, good stuff, not bad stuff, which is making me have to shift it slightly. And then when I get my new job, then it's going to slip completely and be at a completely different time. Anyway, let's move you out of the way and stream. You guys can go back and watch it. They did one disappointing thing, which is it really disappointing? But basically, they didn't give us promo codes. They just said, here's all the free stuff you're going to get right after. Oh, no, I just started 15 minutes ago. So you could even, just not a worry. It's a different time slot right now for me. Giving it a shot. Basically, I'm going to try to switch up and do my morning routine stuff that I do in the afternoon, do that in the morning. And then do this in the afternoon, edit videos in the late afternoon, put them live. We're going to see how that goes for a little bit, at least for the time being, until there are going to be some shifts. Let's just put it that way. But this is how I'm going to try to run it now. But happy to have you join. I know I'm gonna have to go back to my 6 a.m. shift, which was actually the best shift, where I would be 6 a.m. Swiss time, there for like 2 hours, and then get into work. That was the best time slot. And lately, and I think it's because I'm staying up and playing games later than I normally do, I have not been getting out of bed before 6. And I don't like starting the stream at like 7 because I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have my coffee, I'm going to watch my sports highlights, get my brain right. Then I'll stream and then, whatever. So I would get up at 5:30, 5:30. And lately it has been like I could not get up at, I could, but you really want to, like what I really do in the morning is I'll wake up. I still have like my podcast playing because I go to sleep to a podcast. So that's still playing. I wake up, I turn on PTI or NBA Today or whatever, and I listen to that podcast and I start playing chess. Then I'll get up, right? That's kind of the routine. If the NBA playoff or if an NBA game has been going on, I'll go watch the 10-minute extended highlight, and then I'll go check out the Braves. That's my team. Dodgers, Padres. Those are like the three I really worry about. In baseball, I check their highlights, get the day started. I'm cooking cookies at night. Wish. They finally got those ready-made cookies that you can put in the oven in Switzerland like about a year ago. And I had to stop buying them because I was demolishing those things. Those things are amazing. White chocolate macadamia nut cookies I can just put in the oven for like 10 minutes. Your boy was about to be at Tubby Bubbikins because that stuff is delicious. Delicious. Okay, wait. Why is this not showing up? Oh, there it is. All right, so don't do that. Don't do that either. That's what you do. All right. Nope. Not where we wanted it to be. So right now I'm trying to prepare the screenshot that I'm going to put up that is about Merlin. This should not be named what it's named, or else it's going to cause confusion for me, not for anybody else. And I need to change the transform. Sorry, guys. I'm talking through it as I do it right now, so I can put this image up. Edit, transform, reset everything, close. There we go. So these were like this is going to go through the screenshots that I took on what's coming. Hopefully, let's transition that over. You know what? I was never a big fan of Mike and Ike's, but that sour watermelon candy, winner. Winning. We don't have that over here in Switzerland. That is the people will ask, like, now I'm used to it. I've been here 19 years. But when I first moved over here, I lost like 20 pounds without trying. And that is because a lot of the like junk food stuff isn't really over here like that. And so, I mean, when I first moved over here 19 years ago, I moved to a village. There was one Burger King in our vicinity. And when I say vicinity, you had to drive 30 minutes to get there, 40 minutes to get there. There was one McDonald's in the vicinity, and that was 2 or 3 villages over, which meant, like, if no traffic, a 20-minute drive. They didn't even have, they had 2 kinds of cream cheese for bagels. They had plain and they had herb. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have, like, there is no coffee creamer over here. You have, like, straight up milk. And I think they have like maybe 1 or 2 coffee creamers now, but like there's no coffee creamer. You drink coffee, and if you want some milk, you can get some milk. If you want like little creamer packs, you got those. And it was funny, like the things that are small that get changed that affect your diet and your weight so much, because if you can't go get fast food, you're not eating fast food, you're cooking. Or you're going to a restaurant where the food isn't going to be fast food. And by that point, You can't do that on a lunch break real fast. And there are little restaurants and stuff that you can do for lunch breaks, but it's not the same as like fast food. So anyway. Weed cream cheese. What? Oh no, when I mean krauter, yeah, herbs. Not like weed, but like krauter. Just herbs, but not that herb. But herbs. I don't know how else to put it. Krauter is that's like herbs, right? Now you got me doubting my German. For that ice cream team, I still skipping Merlin. No idea who I'm using on the fourth slot, either some healer or Daisy, I guess. You're skipping Merlin? Did you see the video of how much damage she would? Now, granted, it's probably like a P10 Merlin with all the best gear and everything else. But she might be something you need to reconsider because, and then as we get out of my food habits, I wouldn't skip her to save your life, bruh. I'm being facetious, but you know what I mean. Because right now, I can use the staff version of her. Oh, Clotho, you're skipping. Uh-huh. Hmm. See, I look. MD, do you already have a bunch of okay. I'm trying to think of the best way to ask this question. I'm guessing you have every character and you're skipping Clotho. Like you're not there's no gaps in your roster. Cause I think Clotho is like, from a versatility perspective, the best character in the game. To me. To me. I had to make sure to say that on my like Clotho videos. To me. One of the best characters in the game. Like for damage, it's Meliodas, of course. For like barrier heals, to me, that's Elaine. For sub DPS, that's Diane. But Clotho is like top 3 in all those categories, just not number 1 in any of them. Which means like if you have holes in your roster, she's a great like plug in for that roster. And then this is kind of the plus minus of, I won't say minus, I'm gonna just say plus of Merlin. However, and this might be in-game stuff. Maybe that's why, because I would say I'm late mid-game. The lightning damage dealer, the only one right now that they were speaking of is like Drake. Cool. And I think this opens up some content for people. The ice damage dealer, I do love, but that's because now we have a full ice, cold, whatever you want to call it, like a full ice or cold team that I can run. Clotho, healer. Wait, but Manny was a damage dealer for that before, though. And then you have Jericho as a sub DPS. And I guess, oh, that's what you're saying. And then Daisy as your other slot. I mean, wait, MD, hold on, time out then. What is your ice team going to look like? Because Manny is a DPS, right? Hold the actual up. Let me double check, because I think I might be saying something wrong. But I thought she would be the DPS for that team. Let's see. Is that okay? Cool. That does it the right way. Let's go ahead and check out Manny real quick, just so I don't make myself sound stupid. Because she's a. Oh wait, that is. All right, so then you could run Manny as a buffer for the ice team. Jericho as DPS. Merlin as primary sub DPS. Merlin as primary DPS. And then that fourth slot is what you're talking about. For me, that's going to be Clotho. But yeah, okay. For me, that fourth slot is Clotho. She provides extra heals for the team, a great amount of heals actually. I'm gonna have to look at Manny as this role because I've only used Manny with this. Outside of the staff, like the staff, that's her best thing. That's her best weapon. But that's holy, right? Holy. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like I can't just look at the damn screen and see. Um, but I've only used her as an ice damage dealer on the back of like Clotho being the healer and then Jericho being the sub DPS. If you're doing Jericho, Manny, and Merlin, that's the plan with Merlin as the DPS, Manny as the buffer, Jericho as a sub DPS. I guess. Wait, you said you would pull in some healer or Daisy. I would lean towards a healer like Elaine. That's where I would lean. Because I don't see you having a lot of. Wait, no, because you don't. Okay. Yeah, I would lean towards a healer. Um, I have done a guide on Jericho as well. I should. She's really good sub DPS. Just get her dual blades and then go to work. Um, I need to do one on Manny and I need to do one on Elaine, but those are gonna happen after I have SSR weapons on them. Like I could take SSR weapons from Jericho and from this is the staff, not the wand, right? And from Clotho and make that work. But I'm gonna wait until after Merlin and then I'm gonna decide where I'm gonna go from there. Because what I might do is do the Merlin fully, get her up as high as I possibly can, like day by day 2 or 3. Figure out all of her moves and a guide, and then as I'm doing that, I'm gonna be using. I know I'm gonna be using Manny, and then Elaine maybe in and out of that rotation if I need extra support. But truth be told, Clotho is gonna be the like healer for that team. I just think a lot of free to play players are skipping Clotho. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. That's why I keep trying to say like for me, she's one of the better characters in the game, and I love that I have her now, and I love that I'm gonna be able to pair her with Merlin in like a effective way. Like she will be the support for that team. Period. So I'm happy that I have it. But those who skipped, I'm not. She's not the best at anything, but damn it if she's not good at really 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 good at a lot of stuff. So I can understand. I can see the skip of Clotho, even though I wouldn't. Well, I didn't. I pulled for it. I got 3 pulls of Clotho, I think. I think I have her P6. I kept pulling and pulling and pulling until the guarantee. Yeah. So I pulled her 3 times, and I'm happy with that. But to be fair as well, I'm not free to play. So there is basically no chance I'm going to miss Merlin over the course of 3 weeks, because if it looks like I'm never going to get her, which it won't, but if it looks like I'm not going to get her to like P5, I will up a little bit of cash to do it. I thought people said she's not online until P6 or 7, bro. What? What do you mean not online? What you mean? I'm confused. I'm confused on what you mean. Because according to my guide that I put out, which you should have watched, bro. What you doing? Um, I'm not saying that she's not. I can understand skipping, but for me, what she does, I like her a lot. I like her a lot. I guess I can be a dissenting perspective there, but if you're looking for like, oh, I just want to do damage, or oh, I just want to do this, and my guides like from day one, before I had her P5, I was like, I love this character. She is the most versatile character in the game for me. For me. But yeah, that's where I was from day one, and I put out 4 videos to that effect. She was so good that she made me change my video format. So I was doing 3 videos per character, and I was considering like, am I doing it right? Because the 3 videos are focused heavily on their weapons. She was the first character where I was like, I'm gonna give you 3 videos, 1 for each of her weapons, and I'm gonna give you an overview about her armor, and then give you brief details on the weapons, and then how I use her. Like I switched up my formatting of my videos, partially due to, I'm not gonna say the whole reason, was because of Clotho. So I like her a lot. Anyway, but again, me. I will peep your video mainly to see her ice kit. To me, that's her best. And you don't have to. I was being funny. You don't have to. But to me, the grimoire, and I'll go over this briefly, and then I'm gonna start going. I'm gonna go over Merlin. Um, so here, the reason why you'll see here that I have all of that. They even said it on the stream. The Valentine's Day event that happened in May. I guess spring is in the air. Everybody's looking for love. Me too. Basically, everything that makes her heal better. Here, the grimoire, same thing. As soon as I saw that that was a weapon that was available, I maxed that out and put it on her immediately. Let's make her healing as efficient as possible, because when she puts up her rune stones and rune wards and you get hit and it doesn't matter which character gets hit, you're healing. It's awesome. It's amazing. I need to figure out a shorter rotation because I've done a longer rotation, and I had a shorter rotation written down, but like Elaine has a lot of benefit because you go into the battle with 2 health bars, a barrier, 2 health bars, right? Diane, similarly, when you're doing her as a sub DPS, you're tagging them up. Because she's Earth, you hit those 5 hits after the burst gauge. Barrier. That's great. When your health is down, one of the fun things to do is have Clotho run in, put up rune wards, and then have Diane come back in as sub DPS, and then watch them hit you and your HP just go up. Do your hero draws carry over to the different characters? One sec. Yes, they do, but in a way. So yeah, to me, not even with Diane, if I run her with Jericho and I'm putting out Clotho first, especially if they're changing up the things for like the raid battles and all that other stuff, then Jericho's going to be my sub DPS. She's going to go in there for the burst gauge. Clotho's going to already have rune wards up on her in case her health goes down, so I can rotate them in and out. And now Jericho, while she's in there trying to tag up and get the burst gauge up, when she's inevitably going to take hits like she does, she heals. Any character gets healed. So like absolutely love that weapon. Okay, so they do carry over, but how do I put this? And funnily enough, they're going to do a rerun of Daisy. And I don't think that the carryover from the draws, and this I'm not 100% sure on, because they are changing things up slightly. So previously on Dragon Ball Z, I can never resist that. I suck. You would have your SSR guaranteed within. Wait, are you talking about that 120? Are you asking like if that 120 carries over to the next? Because that I just realized might be what you're asking. And I want to say yes. But I've never not hit the 120, and then once I hit the 120, I typically stop. So I've never seen it in practice. I'm answering slowly because I'm trying to really, really think about it. When Daisy came out, I pulled Daisy only one time because I still had Meliodas available. So then I put all my resources in, and you're not going to make it by tomorrow's maintenance to get her. I'm like 98% sure that 44 carries over to Merlin. If it wasn't going to be the most, you know what? Never mind. You asked. Here comes the ADHD in me. I don't know for a fact, and I can't even say with absolute certainty that I'm going to find it. I'm going to look back right now, and this is detective work going on. I'm going to look back right now on my channel to see if when I stop pulling for Daisy content, because all of my live videos are still on demand, right? Which I don't understand the concept of you guys wanting to listen to me ramble for 3 hours live. I really don't see why you're doing it on demand, but I love y'all for doing it. I don't have to understand it to love it. Just saying. But like, Y'all really like watching me. That's so cool. I don't why. It's crazy. It's crazy. Why? That's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so here we go. Down here, over one. That is Geen. That is from January 6th. So that's not what we're looking for. This is all January, April. When your boy came back, Seven Deadly Sins. Team build. I had a Daisy like thumbnail for a stream that I was doing. If anybody knows when Daisy was first introduced, like that date, that would help me out a lot. Outside that, it's cool. I'm going to figure it out. Oh boy. Was that really a controversial topic for me? Armor reset and field boss farming. Okay. All right. So I do not remember the date that Daisy was released. Which Daisy's doing they're doing a rerun on Daisy now, which one, cool that they're doing it so soon. Two, I genuinely do not know if that is. Oh, see, that's the Escanor thing. All right, so there we go. She came out on the 8th. All right. The better question was, and that was me being stupid. The better question was, when did Escanor come out? Because now what I'm gonna do is check the stream. Which, let me go ahead and mute this because I don't know what's about to happen next. I'm gonna check the stream to see if I know I had leftover. That's a fact. I know I had leftover because, well, let me talk. I did not finish her guarantee because I kept going for Meliodas, right? Hey, I muted you. I muted the whole site. What are you doing? Mute site. What are you doing? Stop it. All right, so now this was the live stream that we were watching. I just need to get over to where the drawings are to see. Man, y'all can see all up my nose when I'm streaming. Jeez. Ain't nothing but bogeys. What's going on, bruh? Just full nothing but nostrils. Okay, yeah, so 23rd was when Escanor came out. So I'm trying to find like a video. This is the live stream that came out. Thank you, I appreciate it. That came out right before that. Like 22nd was the live stream. 21st, the Elaine guide that I stopped because someone came on, was like, yo, they're about to do a live stream. And I was like, uh-oh, let me stop and get everything ready. That's what that was. Okay. Can't believe I am so ADHD that I've gone off on this tangent. It is what it is. I was still talking about Elaine. Can we move past this, bro? What are you doing? Of course not. All right, we're going to check one more video. If not, then I am going to check this after the stream and put it in the Discord. Oh, proof that I looked it up. I'm sure somebody, like if Gojo was here or something, somebody would be like, yes. And then we just move on. I'm sure like one of my council members, the council are all the people who, which is most of them, who watch my stream, who are smarter than me, where I'm like, yo, is this true? And they're like, nah. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. One of my council members would be able to tell me. All right, read it through dev notes. And they're usually like pop, like, where they at? Where they at? Gojo. I haven't seen Flint Fox in a minute. Maybe he's moved on from Seven Deadly Sins, but like, where they at? Where y'all at? Okay. You know what? I'm doing this ass backwards. I'm doing this absolutely wrong. Okay. What we're going to do is, because I'm pretty sure I recorded. Sometimes I say I'm smart. I know I'm not. I was like, what is going on? All right, my internet just fell off. I don't know what's been going on with my internet lately. I might have to call Sunrise and be like, y'all got to fix this because this is becoming a problem. All right, so basically, internet fell through for some reason. And I think I know what part of it is. If you guys want to know how exciting my weekend was, I partitioned my hard drive so that I could have a dual boot system so that I could run Linux on the unallocated space. It gave me a commercial for my own dadgum stream on demand. Y'all stop it. YouTube, you guys are out of control. Absolutely out of control. Okay, those were some pulls right there. Let's go back a little bit more. Who was I pulling for? It wasn't. Hey, yo. All right, so let's see. Bruh, I'm sitting here looking at myself like, stop talking. All right, so from what it looks like, and I heavily doubt, but I'll go back and double check. From what it looks like, it carries over because I had 40 pulls on Escanor, and that's when I first started the stream, and the stream was like 30 minutes deep. I don't think I had pulls before that. I'm gonna check, but typically, what I'll do on days where it's like that, where it's character premiere, it's Merlin. Like what I'll do for Merlin when she comes out. I don't know if that's gonna be like for me. It's probably tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll stream after the maintenance. I'll probably stream the following day, and just stream like Bleach or something tomorrow. Yeah, okay. So it looks like from what I saw, I had 40 pulls on Escanor the first time I went to pull for him at all, and that came from me pulling for Daisy, and then not, and then saying I'm not doing that anymore because it's smarter to go after Meliodas, and then yeah, I would have seen that thing. Yeah, okay, so then I stopped pulling for her, kept pulling for Meliodas. I Okay, yeah, that's what happened. So I had 40 left over for Daisy because I'd already gotten her by that point. So I had 40 left over for Daisy. And then that transferred over to Escanor. Now the other question is, they're doing a rerun of Daisy, right? I assume, no idea if this is true or not. I assume that the guarantee won't go for her. I assume the guarantee is going to go for Merlin because for new character to new character. I think Daisy you have to start from ground zero. I do not know that for a fact. If they're like together where it's like it doesn't matter, you're going to get one of the SSRs no matter where you pull. It's just a matter of where you want to pull. That's cool. But I assume that Daisy will start off as a zero, and then Merlin will start off with the like carryover. So, wait a second. Did I even look at that wrong? I think I even looked at it wrong. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should not do streaming in the afternoon. Maybe my brain is already fried from all the work earlier. That was the. That was the problem, by the way, where it was like my brain was fried from streaming at first. So then the stuff I need to do in the afternoon I wouldn't do. Now it's like try to keep the fresh brain in the morning for the like real world stuff I need to do. And apparently my brain is fried for the stream because I looked at the absolute wrong thing. Absolute wrong thing. All right, so here we go. One more time, just to satisfy that notion. Back. No, yeah, no. I was right. Because there's 50 sitting there on the Escanor. Yeah, no, I was right. Sorry. I had to be sure. I do not like giving out wrong information. All right, so now that that's done, we can start a video. Sorry for the increased volume. We can start a video on Merlin. I'm not going to touch on everything that was in the live stream. If you guys want that information, go to the live stream, watch it at 1.5x like I did. I think, we got somebody that needs to be banned. Yay for banning people. You know what? There's a person who I banned a while ago on my YouTube channel. There's a few. And I'm wondering, because I've said this before, when you ban a person, they don't know that they've been banned. And so they keep sending messages or they keep commenting, but no one else can see it but them. And on my YouTube studio, it'll say like, I have 5 comments, but then I'll click on it and I can only see 4. And I am so curious to know which of the people I banned that is, but I don't care enough to switch it over. But it makes me laugh because it has been, of the last like 7 videos I've released, 5 of them have had comments I can't see. And it's only one comment. It's not like a bunch. It's only like one comment. I can't see it and it's consistent. And it's like, yo, this person needs to know that I can't see this, or else they're gonna waste a lot of their life doing this. Like a lot of it. All right, so wait, there were supposed to be 3 images here. Oh, this is the armor. Okay, so let's move the armor up 1. So it's like that, and then we can go back. The weapons, armor, wrap up for the stream. Star fragments every day. Cool. Update celebration. Cool. We're going to get a lot of stuff in the end. Okay. Equip both engraved equipment and armor. Oh yeah. That seems cool as hell. All right, so what we're gonna do, let's start recording. Coming in 3, 2. There was a ton of information from the live stream. I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna say quickly. It ain't gonna be quick. You can tell by the timeline. You know it's not gonna be quick. Merlin's coming. I'm trying not to scream in the microphone because I'm sure you have headphones on and you're like, why is that dude screaming into a microphone? I'm very excited about Merlin coming to the game. And some other stuff too, but mostly Merlin. Let's get to the video. All right. Let me double check something right fast. And then here we go. Let's see how creepy one of my friends is. All right. So, in any case, she's not as creepy as I thought she was. In any case, here we go. Coming back in 3, 2. Hi guys, Don Griver here, and this is a 7 Deadly Sins origin video. In this video, I'm gonna go over the live stream from yesterday. I missed the live stream. I was not able to like watch it live. Had a meeting at, who puts a meeting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon? A 20-minute, it could have been a phone call. Anyway, but basically, I went back, watched it later at like 1.25 speed. It should have been 1.5 speed, honestly. But I went back and watched it all over. There was a lot of information, a lot of stuff to be excited about. So I'm gonna hop into like what I'm excited about. I even took notes during the damn thing. What's up, Daily? I even took notes on the thing. My stream is with me, so y'all gonna hear me like shout at them every once in a while. And also, you know what? No, I'm gonna talk to my streamer about that because there's someone who got banned who still comments on my videos, and it's like, we can't see you, bro. All right. Anyway, so Merlin coming to the game. I'm exceedingly excited about that. I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail later on. I'm going to use this wrap up live stream like screenshot to go over the things that I am really, really excited about. And as a matter of fact, I'm just too excited about Merlin to like let that lie. So I'm going to go back. Sorry, I've already changed my mind. I'm going to go back. I got to. It's I'm so excited about her coming to the game. Okay, I can't stop smiling. All right, so I do love the fact that they do have 3 different elements on her. And I'm touching base on this very, very quickly, just what I'm giving. The ice damage that we saw her perform in the raid dungeon, which which is going to be a new game, new form of game content that's coming in with this new patch 1.5. I love that. Excited about that damage. However, I'm taking that damage and all the numbers we saw with a little bit of a grain of salt, because I'm sure that is a P10 full armor, best weapons, everything rolled up like Merlin. Okay, it's encouraging to see. I like seeing that, but I am not stupid. I am very, very sure that is a fully maxed. Like, if they said they came back and like, no, that's what she does at P1. Stop talking, take my money, right? Anyway, with the wand and the lightning damage, they made a big, and I won't say they made a big deal of it, like not to diminish what they were saying, but they made a big deal about it because apparently there is some lightning damage or lightning utility, some utility for a lightning DPS. So sure, I haven't looked into that as closely, and that's just a me thing. I'm not saying that they're wrong or anything like that, but that's a me thing. I'm more excited about the Grimoire because that means that she runs well with Clotho and Clotho's Grimoire, which is going to make her a healer. I think we even saw that in the video. You have Jericho as a sub DPS. I absolutely love Jericho, especially as a sub DPS. And then you're going to have Manny, who I'm guessing you're going to run her as support with the staff. You're not going to run her as a primary damage dealer if you have Merlin do the primary damage dealer thing. That still all goes back to like Melios is the best damage dealer. But styles make fights, especially when you're getting up in higher levels. There's certain time constraints. They can't get into details, whatever. So I'm not trying to like poo-poo. They did a great job. So running her as a sub DPS for Escanor, and then they said there were going to be some improvements to Escanor's stats for his either weapon or armor. I cannot remember. So I'm excited to run her as a sub DPS because as much as I like Gila, I like her. I don't love her. And if any of you saw like my videos on Gila, you'll know. I do like her, do not love her. I love Merlin. I don't have her yet. This is supposed to be my month to budget where I was like, okay, let me chill out with the spend. I'm going to, budget. I'm about to be a responsible adult. And then they make this announcement and I'm like, yo, why do you did y'all hear me talk about me trying to be more responsible adult? Did y'all? Damn it. For 1 month, I wasn't even trying to do it for the whole summer. 1 month. I was just trying to chill for 1 month. Anyway, so I'm excited about the staff coming through as a sub DPS. I'm excited about the Grimoire, her as a primary cold DPS. The wand, I'm going to take the words of those who know much better, which was beats PH and amazing. They seem to be really excited about that portion of it. So I'm sure I'll get excited about it once I get to it. And you know what's funny? I just realized that down there beside recommended teams right there, I went ahead and named the Ice team, Lightning team, Guilt Thunder, who I have not worked with. I didn't even realize, and this is me being dumb. Guilt Thunder will go in as the sub DPS. Daisy will buff. That is going to be amazing. That is going to be, let me move my dome. That is going to be absolutely amazing to have that run. And 1 second, because I'm going to go ahead and do this. That is going to be absolutely, 1 sec. Is this it? There we go. So 3, 2, go ahead and get my big old head out of the way. So as I was saying when I was trying to get this thing figured out, having Gilthon, I can go ahead and work on him quickly. I'm working on my SRs right now anyway. So I've been working on Slater. I've been working on Hauser. He was going to be next. Gil Thunder can be slotted in as next. That's fine. Drake is actually the last SSR that I've been building, and I've been working on his weapons. I have his armor and everything else. Daisy is one of my main carries. She's on the bench. She's like a sixth man for me. I'm going to rotate her in, or Elaine, or Clotho. Like, those are my three that I rotate into that situation. So running them with the primary DPS of Merlin, that could be so much fun. And then, yeah, I didn't even think about Gila coming in as the support for the fire team. They did mention that on the stream, just to be fair. Teode, I don't really use. Here, they have her down as a support as well. So dual supports with Escanor as a primary DPS and with Merlin as a sub DPS. I am going to remove Teode from that team recommendation. But it is what it is. All right, so on to the next thing, and maybe I'll keep this for a little bit longer. For these screenshots, someone mentioned the 57 kilos. She's 177. Guys. She got curves. I like curves. Whatever, let me not say that anymore. All right, so here we go. So for the Grimoire armor, the passive increased crit damage while cold attack boost is active, which the cold attack burst being active is already a thing for that element, so we love to see that. Passive piercing light, increasing normal skill damage when triggering a combined attack. That's on lightning. I can't speak to that as much. However, increased crit damage when using the normal skill. Lightning spreads to the hordes anyway, like the other minions around bosses, or I can't even remember. Someone else said another specific name, but like when you have a bunch of enemies, lightning, I think, is a good crowd control element. And then the new special weapon, the Gluttonous Soul Grimoire. I already have all the resources saved up for this as soon as I come out. I mean, I don't know if I should be able to take it level 50 as well. That's the one I'm going to take over Clotho's Rapier, which I still haven't made yet, and I'm not gonna, at least not anytime soon. I'm taking this Grimoire. First things first, as soon as that happens. And then I think if I had to pick an armor, I'm probably going to go for the Borsin of Gluttony. So the armor that goes along with the Grimoire, the Grimoire, because I think I'm going to run her as either sub DPS for the fire team or primary DPS for the ice team. Lightning team, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, and then on back to the wrap up. So, as I said, I'm stupid excited about, I can't say it enough. I'm stupid excited about Merlin. But now we're going to get to the other things that they talked about. Act 14, they tried not to give any spoilers, and I don't think they did, because let's be real, at least for me, the Escanor Act 13 was like just a massive spoiler. Like, that's all it was. Everything that happened was in that damn video, and it was like, come on, guys. Like, we know that some people are joining into the game late, and I can understand where it's like, I don't want to know the details. Some stuff they have to say for the players who are waiting to make them excited, I guess. But then other stuff was like, And with Escanor, that was just a complete, like, we're just spoiling everything. So with this one, better job at it. I don't know exactly the details of what is to come. You know what I'm saying? I have an idea. You have the new apostle that's coming in. Then you have another, I cannot remember his name, begins with a T. I can't say it right now. Brain farting. But it is what it is. They're going to have a raid dungeon, right? That is a weekly event. You can do it twice a week. You're going to get 500 star fragments from it. It's Abyss only. Now, as a person who will probably be able to build a team towards beating that within a reasonable amount of time. I'm not in game, but I think I'll have the resources and the ability to farm up really relatively quickly. I don't know for sure, but relatively quickly in order to like at least have a chance against that challenge. I personally would have liked to have seen them do this raid dungeon also on like a hell version, and then instead of it being 500 fragments per clear, which you get 2, which means 1,000 per week, 200 or 250 per clear on the level of hell. And then that way, that's still engaging like the mid game players and helping them push along. I would have liked to have seen that, but it is what it is. I do like the raid dungeon. I can't wait to see what happens with that. Not to mention the fact of, and I'm going to skip around to this just a little bit. Skip on it from my notes. You know what I'm saying? I just, old man's got notes. I like, yeah. They're shutting down the dungeons. I don't know if I heard that correctly, but I feel like I heard that very correctly. They're shutting down like what is it? Capital City of Death or whatever it's called. Gila's Dungeon, the Furs and Mines, and that Spider Queen, who I hate with a passion. I hate with a passion. They're shutting down those dungeons. You won't be able to play those for a while. And essentially, from what I understood, is they're trying to convert those dungeons into the raid style game content that we're going to get with this patch that's coming out now. So hopefully the raids are cool and we like them, because that's what the dungeons are going to become. And I think the idea, I guess, behind it was so that you don't have to travel as much to get to the main boss. And even with the Furs and Mines on Abyss, it just turned into a boss challenge, because they basically skip the entire dungeon and you just go straight to the boss. With Gila, it might as well be a boss challenge, because the thing that everyone does, at least from my experience, is you run to Gila as fast as possible, take her out in 2 minutes, and then book. If you want to be a little bit extra, you go up the flower and you meet I think it's called the ice golem or whatever, to get those extra resources. Fine. But like, it is, how fast can I get? We could beat all of those like minions in the middle, but it's just a waste of time. We just want to hurry up and run, get to Gila, kill her, and dip. And then the deep spider's nest is an absolute pain. It's a nightmare. I can get through it, but it sucks so bad. And then you get to the queen, who also sucks even the hardest of it. She's the worst. So much hatred. So much hatred for her. Yeah, so then I can understand where, hey, it's cool to run through the dungeon the first few times, but now while I'm farming, having to spend 15 minutes to get through the Furs and Mine on Nightmare or Hell, like I'm trying to go mid-game style, then it's like I've done this 30 times. No more, right? It's too much. So I do like the idea of them changing the dungeons into raid. I'm guessing the raid is going to be more aligned with like a mix between a boss challenge and the dungeon, to where maybe you have a boss or two. Like Gila's dungeon or Gila's raid could literally be those dungeon rewards from the boss challenges, which I'm sure it'll change up. I might be burning more cube keys on those boss challenges. Now, one of the boss challenges is going to be upgraded to Abyss. It's the they're going to get Hell in Abyss. It is the Guardian guy, the one with like 6 legs and like the torso like a centaur. Cannot remember his name at the moment. Is it on the screen, or am I trying to remember for no good reason? Oh, Tyrannus. There's the name for the new content that's coming in. No, I don't see it there. But in any case, one of the bosses is going to get improved levels from. He's going to get Hell and Abyss, I believe. Let's see. Oh, Guardian Golem. Next. Oh, that's done. Mention that. All right. 3. Actually, I got to signal myself for when I'm editing. 3, 2. All right, so one of the bigger things that caught my attention was the ability to stack armor pieces on top of armor. So you have armor pieces like, I'm trying to think of one, but like Life Crystal, for example, where you have a chest plate, you have the pants, you have the boots, and then you have the other belt, right? I can't use those versus the armor that I'm actually pulling for Meliodas. We're just going to use him, right? So the armor that I have engraved for Meliodas, cool. Those other armor pieces maybe that would be better on him in some aspects. However, at the same time, I have the passives on this armor that I just crafted. And not to mention, I'm kind of trying to get value out of the resources I used to get it. So you create a problem. But they're saying that you're going to be able to, after this update, you're going to be able to stack armor pieces alongside your armor itself. So that way I can use the full Meliodas armor. I can't think of one off the top of my head right now to save my life. But then also add 4 armor pieces to that so that you have an amalgamation of stats, right? The problem, and I don't know if it's a problem or not, and to be fair, I understand why they did it. It just depends on to what degree they did it. They're having to tamp down some of the stats on the armor so that they can be sure that no one ends up with some kind of OP set, which, sure. And then they're going to tweak the pieces up so that the pieces provide more stats or better stats. Here's the issue I have with that. Why couldn't that have been the other way around? People have already like engraved, and I hope that I misheard it or something like that, but I'm trying to look at this like sum up. Equip both engraved equipment and armor. If you've already spent your resources to engrave armor, let us keep those stats. Who knows how much stuff that any one person, in terms of like changing the level, changing the passive ability, all that other stuff that they went into to when they engraved that armor, all of the resources they might have put into it, and you're tamping that down in favor of boosting armor that we get just for completing these raids and everything, but that we may not have put any resources into. Maybe you refined a few pieces, but and I hope I'm wrong, and if I am, please someone tell me in the comment section that I have it reversed. But I made sure to like write it down, because it was like, this is kind of, if I've already spent all my resources to get my armor, the actual armor for Meliodas, where I want to get it to, and then you're removing some of those benefits of what I spent resources into in favor of letting me equip stuff that I get that I would like to use, fantastic, but it's not something that I've spent X amount of hundreds of thousands of gold on and resources on to get specific layouts for what I wanted. It is just something that's sitting in my backpack that I just honestly am not brave enough to salvage yet, because, hey, who knows, maybe someday it's going to be useful, which, hey, the hoarders won. This guy keeping it and not salvage. Woot. But I wish, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Leave the armor alone and then tweak down the armor pieces, and you wouldn't have had to do two things, because now you're tweaking down our armor but tweaking up the armor pieces. You could have just allowed this to happen, tweak down the armor pieces, and then we keep the stats that we. I hope I'm wrong. But I paid close attention to it, and they even had the arrows and stuff, and the people who were saying it, the two primary hosts whose name I do, G Clef and Jen, I believe. Super cool. I like them. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but from what it looked like, that's what they're doing. And here's the thing. They knew people would be upset about it, which is why they couched it so much and kept trying to be like, but look though. And I get it, but you could have done it the other way around, right? They're not, okay, I plays. Engraves aren't getting touched. Okay, cool. I am willing to pause this recording for the discussion. All right, so I plays. I'm pausing it for the discussion right now. From what I saw in the live stream when I went back to it, they said that armor is going to be downgraded and that armor pieces are going to be upgraded. So where are you getting that is not going to be touched? Or did I misunderstand something completely? Because I really, really hope I did. Because I'm tempted to, and I've already done something once before already. Like I've already done the looking up the channel stuff. Um, I'm tempted to go back and look at that part of the stream again because I remember seeing that graphic where they had the arrow pointing down and they were showing armor, and I was like, "What?" And then they kept talking like, "Hey guys, we had to do this. We had to do this." Like they knew. I wouldn't be surprised they didn't, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they had just shut down the chat and been like, "We can't say this with people able to reply to us. We'll bring the chat back in 30 minutes." So I hope I'm wrong. They're tweaking the regular sets passives. Yeah, but I'm saying like they said that they're gonna tweak the passives of the armor as well, so that the armor pieces, the stats are gonna go up, but then the armor, those stats are gonna go down. That's what I mean. But you're saying they're tweaking the regular sets. You know what? Here, because right now, and I'm not even saying I might be confusing myself. So I appreciate the help because I want to get this clear for real. All right. So as I understand it, is that this is the armor, right? And then these are the accessories, and then you have character, and then you have, who do I not have armor? That thing, right? Where you have these armor pieces. Okay. Now, when you go in to switch them or whatever, you have here where there's like armor. So you see Tristan's armor there, right? And then you have here where you have the armor pieces. As I understand it, you will be able to equip his armor and these armor pieces, but then the armor stats are going to be decreased slightly. And then the armor pieces stats are going to be increased. And they said that they were doing that to align things better so that nobody ends up with super OP characters. Okay, it's in their website. Thank you, KDM. I'm gonna go for that now. Oh, and thank you for joining the stream. I'm gonna check that out right now because this is something that, to me, is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive information. And that it really, really, really needs to be correct. So I am going to, as a matter of fact, I can just, whoa, really? Which window do I have that's like showing that right now? And right. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna transition this over. Crimson Boar appears, right? These are the blah blah, and this is not giving us the stats on the whatchamahoosit. Raid missions, Merlin pickup exclusive, Daisy. Oh, they put a lot of new information in there today. Okay, that's a good question. I was focused on them not touching the engraved passive, not the armor stats itself. Yeah. Okay. It would be nice if I could see these full titles. Cool. These are all the new content, new raid, exchange shops, leaderboard, passive. I am hungry. I forgot to eat lunch. Damn it. New engraved equipment added, new craftable items, other new content. Let me stop this real quick. Cube key, time space, achievement rewards, equipment balance revamp. Okay, so here we go. And actually, I'll start recording again. All right, so I was basically about to go off about the equipment balance revamp. And then Mr. KDML, appreciate your shout out, said that all these stats are already up on the website. I hadn't checked the website since yesterday, June 1st. It's June 2nd now. Not going to give you excuses. I just hadn't been. Now that I see what it is. I'm going to read through this to be sure I get this correct. And so what you're going to see is a cut because I went off about like what they're going to do to the armor that we've crafted and if they're changing those base level stats, etc., how it may or may not be fair. So like if and I'm hoping I misinterpreted everything. And if I have, cool. I'm happy to be wrong here. So what's going to happen? Equipment balance revamp. Change so that when engraved equipment is equipped, a top, bottom, belt, combo boots can be equipped in addition to accessories, allowing equipment set effects to be applied together. Just for the sake of over explaining it, because we were just doing this before. You have Tristan here. He has those pieces I have equipped on him because they're better than his actual armor that's sitting there. And then in the future, you should be able to equip this armor. Sorry. Let me transition. So you have Tristan here. He has on different armor pieces right there. He has boots, belt, pants, and the chest plate. Now I have that on him because it's better than his armor that I crafted forever ago. Now I don't even really use Tristan like that, but you see my point. In the future, from what I understand, from what they've said, you will be able to equip the armor and these armor pieces at the same time. All right, so now let's go back to reading. Now the question is, what happens to the stats for that? Change so that crafted equipment previously obtained with fixed quality will now be obtained with a random quality within a specific range when crafted. The fixed quality of the corresponding crafted equipment will be set as the minimum quality. So the fixed quality of the corresponding crafted equipment will be set up. New second bonuses will be added to the Gluttonous Soul Longsword, Axe, Sword, and Shield, and Rapier weapons. New secondary bonuses by weapon, longsword, increased attack. That debate we were having about whether to use the Black Flame Sword or the Gluttonous Longsword, that's about to get shattered. Because people were coming up with the Black Flame Sword, and I couldn't really disagree with them. Hold up. Let's do that all over again. Sorry, guys, on the stream. I'm going to have to do that all over again because I forgot to hit the transition button. All right, so here we go. 3, 2. All right, so here we go. Reading back through this. Coming back from showing off Tristan's stuff. Change of the crafted equipment previously obtained with fixed quality will now be obtained with a random quality within a specific range when crafted. So the stuff that had a fixed quality, it has a random quality. The fixed quality of the corresponding crafted equipment will be set as the minimum quality. Okay. All right, so then that would be the minimum quality that you would get. All right, gotcha. New secondary bonuses will be added to the Gluttonous Longsword, Axe, Sword and Shield, and Rapier. New secondary bonuses by equipment. So you will have an increased attack. There's been that debate about the Black Sword versus the Gluttonous Longsword. The Black Flame Sword has been winning in that argument, even though I still have the Gluttonous on Meliodas. Increased attack may shift that. Axe having more crit damage. I like that. I do. I would like more crit rate and crit damage, but it is what it is. We can stack up crit rate. Sword and Shield, ultimate move damage increase. Well, seeing as how a lot of times you're setting up Daisy to be a nuke, that feels like it's a really good thing to have. And then Rapier, wind attribute burst efficiency, that's being increased. I could see it as I was not really using her as a sub DPS anyway. As it is now possible to equip armor parts simultaneously with engraved equipment, while engraved equipment is equipped, the balance of certain equipment will be adjusted. So armor, secondary bonuses, stat adjustment. Okay. So this is just armor, secondary bonuses, adventure top. Wait a second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to double check something over here real fast. Yo, what's wrong? There we are. So, let me go down this real quick. Thunderous, fiery. All right. So, yep, Immortal Watcher belt. All right. Okay, I say. Okay, so coming back in 3, 2. All right, so the armor secondary bonus stats. If I go over to, I already have like Immortal Watcher belt, right? So you're gonna have the belt, the top, the boots, and the bottoms, right? So then these stats, for example, let's just go with the top. It's changing from what they were previously. The min previously and the max previously. The min previously was 8 and the max was 40. The min now is 5 and the max is 37. Okay. We're looking at the change here, honestly. 558, 335 now goes from 957 to 583. That is a big ass drop. I will say though, for pieces that weren't even being used, I'm good with it. My main concern was, and it looks like I was wrong, and I am happy to be wrong. My main concern was, here it is. Am I still wrong? My main concern was if they were changing the armor itself. Here comes the other stuff. Here comes the other stuff. Here comes the other stuff. This might be fine. Okay, so armor passive stat adjustments. Tyrants, Dragons, Black Heart top. Silent Watcher bottoms. Eye of the Ominous Star top. Okay, so this is still armor pieces and how their passive stats are being changed. So increased crit chance. Oh, I was just about to say Mad Miner is something that a lot of people use. That has been recommended to me before. So I'm going to go directly to, I'm going to okay. 60, 80, 100% to 25, 35, and 45%. Okay. Mad Miner is something that a lot of people use. A lot. Oh, and it's going to take their decreases nearby enemies move speed 25, 50%, 20, 30%. Decreases the nearby enemy's attack 10%, 20% to 6 and 10. I know a lot of people use that set. 1 second. Oh no, okay, I thought it was a phone call. I use the Arcane's Melody. Crit chance goes, the increase goes from 10 to 5%, and the crit damage goes from 25 to 15%. Increase buff and debuff duration, 18 to 24% goes down to 10 to 15%. Okay, so here's the plus about where I was wrong, and so I'll cut that part of the video out because I misunderstood it. So I'm copying to just not hearing them clearly. The engraved armor. Shout out iPlays P, and then shout out Mr. KDML. Like I said before, an MD. You around here too. We love you too. They're not changing the actual armor itself that we are engraving. Bet. They're adjusting down the stats of the armor pieces. I'm cool with this because we're adding these armor pieces on top of the armor that we've engraved. Bet. So that keeps me from keeping a lane in I think it was like Immortal Watch or something, like whatever, for a very, very long time. Cool. We can stack that stuff. Okay, cool. With these, the belts and the tops and everything, I'm cool with those effects being like decreased. I'm good with that. Look, I am. The passive stat adjustments for these other tops, bottoms, and top, like I can understand that ish. Do I like it? No. But adding another like 60, 80, 100, I get that. I get it. I get it if you're stacking on top of armor. This part, I don't understand as much. I know you're getting better stuff from this up here. I get it. This, and then MD has already said it. That's a nerf. Question is, can you get all that back or more from the engrave or somewhere else? This is a nerf, right? to these accessories. And I don't think it was necessary. You're already knocking down the stats that you're going to add it, and it's going to make us more powerful and help us get through this content. We like that, right? But with the amount that you've sliced these by, it would have made us slightly stronger, stronger, but I don't think it would have like murdered the game in terms of like all the content is too easy now. I don't think it would have done that. And then the armor passive stat adjustments, I can see it. Do I like it? No, I can understand it. This I'm having a harder time with understanding. This I'm having a harder time with. This is just outright. I would love to know if anybody could figure out that math. If we ended up with weaker characters based on the idea that we can add this and this, and this has been nerfed. I would love to know the answer to that question. So they're not touching the engraving. Cool. I'm happy with that. But I'm not exactly a huge fan of like the accessory. I didn't think the accessories were going to be touched like that. I don't want to be over dramatic, but I'm not a fan. I'm definitely not a fan. I'm trying to like keep myself. I don't want to like be over dramatic about it, but it does not feel nice. Let's put it that way. And I don't even use Mad Minor like that. But that does not feel nice. Okay. All right. So happy I was wrong about them touching the engraved equipment. That's cool. But now I can understand why they were having those faces of like, ooh. A lot of us was doing Abyss solo already, so additional stats is just a bonus in my opinion. That is iPlays. I can see your point, but it's not about just like those people who were soloing the Abyss stuff. Because at this point it is in their head. This is the justification I can come up with. This isn't for the in-game players. This stat adjustment, this armor adjustment isn't for the in-game players. This is for the early to mid-game players. So those of us who have been playing, I'm mid-game still. Those of us who have been playing, who will see increased abilities if they hadn't done that. So we have in-game players like you who are telling us, no, do this with Mad Minor, do this, do that, do this, do that, and keeping them from basically not selling us, but why pursue other accessories when Mad Minor's like, that's awesome. I want to use Mad Minor. So why am I pursuing those other accessories when I have Mad Minor? As a early late mid game player, trying to figure out the accessories and the stats, first thing people will tell me is that, hey, yo, I'm struggling with Abyss too. First thing people will tell me is like, yo, put on Mad Minor. That was one of the first pieces of advice that I got, was like, don't salvage your Mad Minor. And I don't use it, to be honest with you, not much. But that was like some of the first bit of advice that I got when I started the game. We fixed that, right? So we want the content. We want you to feel like you're getting stronger. You're adding a bunch of armor but at the end of the day, you're not getting through the content, the bulk of the content as fast, right? As far as like players struggling with the Abyss, I don't think this helps. I'm not 100% sure that it helps. If you're in the late mid game and you have a lot of these armor pieces left over and everything like that, okay, cool, because you've been doing the dungeons don't exist anymore, but you've been doing the dungeons, you've been doing the boss challenges, you have all this extra armor that you can't use. Oh, no worry, Real Prince. I'll tell you in a minute. You have all these extra armor pieces that you could not use. Now I can just plop that onto a bunch of characters, cool, and hop into Abyss. And I think Abyss will be more manageable for me. However, I don't think this takes it from Abyss being a problem and I can't get past to I'm stomping a mud hole in Galland. That's not what's going to happen here. And I'd be curious to know, because I'm pretty sure I could beat Abyss Galland. I just haven't really gone at it because, to be honest, I've been fried a little bit on some of the content. Um, I'm not sure that I would like to know actually. I'm not sure that adding these armor pieces are going to be the thing that gets me over the hump on some Abyss content. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But that is a direct nerf to those accessories, and I can understand some players not exactly being happy about it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more opinions from my stream and everything about that. Um, check. Side note, yeah, they do carry over. I went and I doubled and then triple checked. It does carry over. All right. As a matter of fact, I plays MD, Mr. KDML, asking you this, like, not to necessarily be in the video. How do you guys feel about the armor changes? Like, how do you feel about that? It seemed I can see the good side of it. I can see the bad side of it. I can. I can see the plus side of like increasing survivability, all that jazz. But at the same time, I can also see where it's like, was this a lot of like pomp and circumstance to put us in a position of where, hey yo, where we're not actually getting a boost. So give me. I plays. Go for it. Why do you disagree? I think it might help with survivability. It's a really good change in your opinion. All right, explain. Because you're more experienced than me. Let me know. And I mean explain genuinely. I don't mean like that as like a, how dare you? Like, I disagree. I want to hear it. I think overall, the equipment side, this stuff is good. I guess my question more or less is, I like this. I understand this. I don't know why this is necessary. I don't know why this was necessary. I'm happy that you can actually use the armor before engraves were a must instead of armor. That I agree with 100%. That I agree with. I feel as though, which is why I'm waiting, and by wait, WEIGHTING, this too heavily over the benefit of what these two things do. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Because I mean, 5 and 15 from 10 and 25, 18 and 24 to 10 and 15. This goes from 50 to 20. Crit chance increase goes from 50 to 20. Magic gauge recovery goes from 800 to, that is a 75% lop off. 70%. We just need to see when it comes out. If people farm a certain set and it comes out, that set you spent a bunch of keys on no longer is viable, then it feels bad after the change. Facts. However, I will argue slightly that for these sets up here, like there was one that was like a life crystal thing that was called something like that. I don't think that I never heard of people farming for this. I've heard of people like all of us have it from doing the dungeons. I don't remember people farming for this stuff per se, and maybe I just did the approach wrong. People were farming for stuff for substats, the armor, not the accessories. And that's a genuine. I'm asking for real. I genuinely don't know. I believe the right investment Abyss was possible with free-to-play units in the game's current state. So adding additional passive stats to any build should make it easier for everyone. I hear you. My issue was that, or not issue. My question is, in favor of improved survivability over the improved damage stats. And it's like, I get this, I do. But like, this is going to reduce your ability to hit. Lil Mac, so first time chatter, but I kind of see where they are going with this because you have four different characters that can have multiple set bonuses on top of extra bonuses from the engraved sets. Okay. You're right, I place. Personally, I believe it's more of a game mechanics, upstanding, and skills issue more than anything. No shade. Oh no, that you're not shading anything. Everything is being everything is everybody's coming with respect and everything else. There's no shade here. There's no shade here. My thing was like I think these improvements to the armor pieces are to account for people who don't have as much skill. Because what's the problem I have if I'm going into an abyss dungeon? I'm getting murdered because I'm not doing my rotations correctly. I'm not pulling out my support characters in time to heal or to barrier or whatever. I'm going in button mashing and getting my head lopped off because I'm not using as much skill as necessary to warrant being able to survive and attack, right? So to me, improving survivability stats is the way to let lesser skilled players succeed. Is that because adding a bunch of damage is what a player who doesn't think the whole game through would do, right? So being like, and again, we're not shading each other, but if I want to kill Gallant at Abyss, right? I've already said to myself, like, the thing that I'm not doing correctly is I'm not timing this right, I'm not timing this right, I'm not timing this right. So as soon as I feel like it, I'm so lazy. As soon as I feel like it, I can figure out how to time it correctly to get him down. Because when I say I haven't beaten him, I've had him like literally here and then like lost. So like I can beat it. It's just I've missed time stuff, especially towards the end when I get like impatient, right? The way to fix that for a player like me, or for a player who's less skilled or a player who doesn't know the rotations as well, is to make it so that the boss can't kill me as fast, which is where the improvements of like the ability to add more defense, healing received increase, crit defense increase, barrier efficiency increase, that survivability helps me with not having enough skills to survive, right? If I am utilizing crit properly, that means I'm timing up my attacks to do the most damage possible at that moment. Now, crit damage or crit chance, and this is a lawyer in me, is like also, well, yeah, but if you go in there button mashing and you have a additional 25% crit damage and an additional 20% crit chance or whatever, then you're going to just do more damage just by doing it. But that doesn't counteract Gallon cracking my skull. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's see. It's funny. I'm at 60 CC with my Meliodas team in Dragon, and I've had random parties with people at like 70k CC, and I still do way better than them. So it's fair that it can be a skill issue. 100%. Just because you have a 70k team doesn't mean you're good. It doesn't mean you're good at it. Or literally how to build your character and which ones. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that for sure. If it dies faster, that will inherently help survivability. Yeah. If you're doing... okay. Don't need to dodge if it's dead. Yeah, but let's be real. 25% crit damage isn't going to be the thing that help you one-shot something. Because if that were the case, then this should have been enough already, right? Like if that were the case, then wouldn't that already be what was happening? Because they're nerfing the damage stats. If damage is what you needed to kill something so that you would help with survivability, then why give a bunch of additional armor stats that help with survivability and reduce the attack? You see what I mean? I don't like seeing a rabbit block and Escanor Ultimate. Hey man, hey, you don't know. You never see Secret Life of Pets? Panda, 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 panda. Hey, look. I got broads in Atlanta. Okay, let me stop. Rappers get underestimated, dog. And, they might be tougher than you think. But no, I get, I don't know. To me, helping a person not die is more of a lending itself to making the boss not as tough. Is making the bosses not as tough. If you can hit me 7 times in the face and I don't fall down, you know what I mean? Like in a fight. Same, but by your token, if I can punch you in the face one time and you lay down, I also win the fight. I don't know. I see your point, but it was one of those, in my view, if the damage was the thing that was helping people survive, then they wouldn't have added a bunch of survivability stats to the armor and let you equip more armor and then reduce the amount of damage you can do. Watch, after the change, we were still getting a bunch of blocks in. Oh no, 100%. That's always going to happen. 100%. All right, sorry. I just been Oh, and I'm still recording. Oops. I didn't mean to record that stuff. That was just supposed to be for between us, or like just for the stream. I don't think anybody gives a damn about all this extra conversation. You said yourself you died with the boss like 10% health, so the additional stats, right? Or if I had increased defense, I would have had 20% health instead of 10. We go back and forth on this all day. I think we can both make our arguments, but the issue is that you already had the increased attack. They reduced the attack and increased survivability, right? So who that benefits more, I guess, is the debate. Does that benefit the skilled players more, or does that benefit the button mashers more? Who knows? I mean, I guess we'll find out in a minute. All right. So let me continue to talk myself off this ledge. Let me go back to the video itself, and I'm going to give your perspectives and mine, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to misrepresent what you guys were like saying. All right. So coming back in 3. I can't believe I just... And I got to get my laundry. Coming back in 3, 2. Man, okay. This whole armor situation is going to require a lot of edits. So I'm apologizing to myself in the editing bay right now for everything I'm putting myself through. We went through the stats for the armor and for the accessories. The accessories are being nerfed. Well, all of it is being nerfed, right? Because you're having the ability to add it to the armor, blah, blah, blah. You know this because for us, 20 minutes has passed. For you, it's literally one cut. Now, I was of the opinion or the thought process like, I'm not a big fan of the accessories being nerfed. Why did you nerf it? I understand why you nerfed the armor. I don't understand why you're nerfing the accessories. Like, let us keep those stats. Now, and I was ready to say, like, I would think multiple players would have a problem with it. However, I plays P and MD. I'm going to say that wrong. I'm just going to call you MD like I've been calling you. They came through. Oh, also Lil Mac, right? They came through, and the general consensus seems to be, and I do understand the nerfs when you're adding those 4 armor pieces onto the armor, the engraved armor that you've created. Their argument was more or less that we're still going to see good improvement from the characters, and that it will help players get through the abyss modes, which seems to be a hang up for a lot of players. I have never particularly complained about that per se. I complained about the bosses themselves. Abyss to me is if I can figure out the strategy or the tactics to get past it, then I'll work until I get past it, right? I never really blamed stats or anything like that. But that's beside the point. I plays and I disagree because he feels as though these increases are going to be helpful to players who are more skilled. I feel as though this stat change is going to be more helpful to players who are less skilled. And comment section, what do you think? Do these changes in the armor and accessory help skilled players more or unskilled players more? His argument being is that if you have a bunch of damage, you can hit the enemy and they die. So you don't have to worry about survivability as much. If you reduce the amount of damage that you can do, then and increase the amount of, we're gonna say defensive stats, but like survivability, which it wait, what? Huh? Hold up. Hold up. I plays, am I misrepresenting you? Or are we arguing for like 10 minutes and saying the same thing? That's true too. So then we were arguing the same thing. We were so you and I just spent 15 minutes arguing about the same stuff. Hold on a minute, man. Okay, so this is my this is my argument, and we're gonna see if I'm on point or not. I feel as though defensive stats, the increase or like being able to put on the armor pieces and increase your barrier efficiency, your healing efficiency, all that stuff will help the less. We were arguing the same thing, man. We were literally arguing the same thing the whole time. Can I just not read? I must not be able to read. We were literally arguing the same thing because my whole thing was like, if you add increase and reduce attack, then that means that we can't die. You know what I'm saying? So like when you said it can't hurt you if you're dead, I was like, yeah, but that's what it was before. That's why I said that. That's why I said that. Okay. Bet. Facts. The perseverance, the now block. Okay, cool. All right, so sorry. Skilled players are already okay. Got you. All right, cool. So we're on the same page. We weren't even disagreeing with each other. All right, so Jesus. Coming back in 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Apparently, I don't know how to read. I plays and I were actually agreeing, but we spent 15 minutes arguing, not realizing that we were on the same side of the argument. But basically, the argument here was that these stat changes will help lesser skilled players get past more difficult content. Because if you're harder to kill, even with the stat reduction, and I don't like the stat reduction in the accessories part of it, but even with the stat reduction, they're giving you the ability to stack up so much defense that it's going to increase your survivability. So that way, if you mess up on a rotation, like, oh, you're unskilled, you're bad at it. No, not like that. Just you're learning the game, and you get your skull cracked open right out the gate, and you're like, uh-oh. Kind of discouraging. Help you survive a little bit more, help you get past those more difficult bosses while you learn the game and become more skilled at the game. Fair. That's what we're saying. But that these stat changes to the armor are going to help those players who are learning or who are getting stuck on the difficult content, help them survive more, help them figure out the rotations more, reducing the attack, which I'm seeing now where it's going to maybe foster better skilled players where it's like, no, you're going to survive more, but it doesn't mean you get to automatically win. We're reducing some of the offensive stats so that way you still got to have skill with it, but you're not getting murdered out of the gate. So overall, what their argument was is that they think that this is going to increase the ability for players to get past the content, keep them engaged, keep them having fun. I thought that maybe it might come out as not as big of a benefit as I once thought. I could be 100% wrong at that. And I hope I am. I think it helps lesser skilled players. I've been leveling up my girlfriend's account so we can do some content together and fun together. But I think more HP and defense will help her with 100%. Shout out Lil Mac. 100%. That is going, and that will make it. The issue is just straight up is if you have it to where you're getting you have like no chance, right? I did Time Space Junction. I've only done it once, and you guys could check it out on the stream. And I said I wasn't ready for it anyway. I walked in, I got hit 3 times, I died. That was it. Now, granted, that's in-game content that's not really made for me, but if that's your experience with like some of the boss challenges and some of the dungeons that you don't even get a chance, you don't even get the chance to hit it and see like 10% of the health bar go down before it's already like leave dungeon. Fair. Helping with survivability. I think that's not necessarily dying instantly is the encouraging part, not dying. If you hang in there for a little bit and it's like, oh no, I almost had him. I just messed up. I pulled in a lane and I didn't mean to. I meant to pull in Diane that's different. So I can see it. Okay. All right. My stream has talked me off the ledge a little bit. They've talked me off the ledge a little bit. I was losing it there for a second and they've talked me down because it's like, no, it's not. It could end up being a very, very big improvement and very, very good for the game. Okay. So they've talked me off the ledge when it comes to that a bit. All right. Okay. I hope sets are for DPS. I hope sets that are for DPSs are actually good. I'm sure it's cool, but using an HP set just to be able to land hits on mobs is dumb. I think that's part of the reason why they were giving. Well, it depends on the character because they were giving increased stats to certain weapons as well, and they did come out with Breath of Glory, which I think those weapons are pretty good too, but I think those weapons are best served on sub DPS characters. Okay. So, however, to that point, you said you hope the sets are good for... You're going to be disappointed. Because this goes directly to the thing I was saying before. This crit chance thing is the only offensive stat. Oh, taxial damage I've seen too. 1, 2. Okay, there. Nope. There's some other skill attack. Okay. All right. Hand up. Because I was about to say I only saw like defensive stats. But no, there are some offensive stats. Not a lot of them. There are some offensive stats here. However, when you go to Tyrant Dragon's Blacktop, they did decrease the crit. So like MD, what's your definition of good? Because the ones that have Bloody Scale isn't there. That's taxial damage increase. The ones that seem to have like normal skill cooldown and increased normal skill damage, crit chance increase, those stats are being reduced. So what's your definition of good, dog? Because I'm seeing it, but like before it was you add this to this, and now I have 10 plus what? It's being reduced. Oh god, it's being reduced. For 10 seconds, also increasing crit damage by the crit chance exceeding 80, now 50%. So the crit chance was 20 plus this 10, right? I'm reading through the sets right now, and that would have been 30. Now that goes down to 8 plus 3. That's 11, bruh. I wonder what your definition of good is, because that ain't it. But, all right. So, wait. I mean, new greedy set has more crit damage and crit chance, right? I have to look at that. I'll look at that when I get done with the video, but I have to look at that. I think it does, though. I think it does. I know they're increasing the crit damage on Escanor's axe, which is a very specific thing for me to remember. Attack on the increase for the longsword. Ultimate damage or move for sword and shield. Rapier, burst efficiency. So those 4 weapons I got. But why was I? The things I choose to remember, but then I forget to go get my laundry. I'm still remembering it though. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you crit or not. If you're not shredding defense, somehow you're getting blocked. But I mean, didn't they also remove? Not important. Okay. I'm going into like all these details right now. Not important. We'll figure it out in a minute, but I need to to wrap this video because it's like recording for an hour and 2 minutes. I'm only gonna be able to use like 20 minutes of this. That's why I said if we don't get the stats back from the nerf after you equip the engraved set. No, I hear you now. I hear you now, MD. I don't think you're getting no stats back, dog. Because I don't think you're getting no stats back, dog. Like, just as the quick example that I use, and then I'm gonna continue with the video. You have a Tyrant Dragon Top, right? This thing up here. So the crit damage and everything else, right? So if you're looking for your crit damage to come back, and let's say you had the there's a crit chance here. Okay, this increases crit chance too, right? So they're reducing the quality of that. If you already had this top on, which maybe you didn't, but if you already had this top on, you were going to get an increased crit chance by... Wait, was I reading the right thing? Oh, this is a crit. Landing a critical shot inflicts lightning damage equal to blah, blah, blah. It goes from 30, 40, 50, 12, 16, 10. Crit chance, increased crit chance by 1.2, 1.6, and 2. That goes to 0.5, 0.7, 0.9 for 60 seconds. And then when landing the max per hit, max 60, 80, 100 goes to 25, 35, 45. So if you were getting a crit chance increase down here on Mad Minor by 8%, and that drops to 4, you can add this 4% plus this, and let's say at the top, you're not getting 5. Like, I don't think you're getting your stats, your offensive stats back. If you have like I can't remember, is it Perseverance that lets you get through the block? Or Perseverance is the block. But like, I don't think just that little bit of math. Silent Watcher bottoms. Chance to increase normal skill damage by blah, blah, blah. Jesus, that wasn't even good in the first place. Eye of the Ominous Star. Using task skills increases crit chance by 12, 16, and 20%. That goes to 4, 6, and 8. Ooh. And then okay. And then if again, Mad Minor, we'll just stick with that. This is being dropped off from 20 to 8. And Mad Minor will give you, it would have given you 8, which means you would have had 28% crit chance. Now you're down to 12. So you're not getting those stats back. Three, 2. Okay. This whole armor thing has been an emotional roller coaster. I think you pretty much have to get good sub stats to try to get your percent stats back. So MD brought up a very good point. And he said it earlier, it's just I got distracted by iPlays, which was a very necessary and good conversation, right? Damn. So basically, MD brought up the idea of this video is going to be all about armor. I thought it was going to be all about Merlin. We ain't talked about Merlin in 45 minutes. Basically, what MD's point is, hey, they're doing all these nerfs to the stats, right? But can I get my stats back? And then I read his comment. Pretty much have to get it from substats. And on the stream, correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, you guys would have corrected me by now because we've been talking about it. I'm going to use Eye of the Ominous Star top, right? Right. So with Mad Minor equipped, I was going to get 8% crit chance. That gets reduced down to 4. If I were using the Eye of the Ominous Star top, crit chance of 12, 16, 20 gets reduced to 4, 6, 8. Now, if I was running just this top previously, then I would never be able to get back up to that 16 or 20. I might be able to get to the 12, maybe, if I'm running Mad Minor and Eye of Ominous in this new creation, because I would have 4 crit chance, and then I would have 4 crit chance here, 6 or 8. Now I can meet back up to the crit chance of Mad Minor, which would be 8%, 12 or 10%, or 12%, right? I can get back to Mad Minor, or even better, if I run Mad Minor as the accessory and Eye of Ominous Star. However, I won't be able to get up to the Ominous Star stats level. I won't be able to get those. So there is going to be a balancing act here. A really big balancing act. The other one that I was looking at was Tyrant Dragon's Blacktop. Increased crit chance by 1.2, 1.6, and 2. Has gone down to 0.5, 0.7, and 0.9, right? I know it's for 60 seconds each, and. We're just going to leave that alone for a second. We're just going to pretend like you only got it once, okay? Run that with Mad Minor. I keep going to Mad Minor because people use that set a lot. I will not even get back up to the Mad Minor stats if I only hit it once, right? Now, the Mad Minor chance would have been 8%. This is going to be less than 5%, just less. I mean, come on. However, each time when landing an attack that doesn't result in a crit hit, max 60, 80, and 100%. If we're building that character to have a lot of crit already, then this is going to be slightly nerfed in the first place, because I'm trying to crit as much as possible. But let's say I'm still not critting all the time and it keeps going up and up and up. There's going to be a delicate balancing act for you to get back to, I mean, not delicate. You can probably get back to the crit chance of 8%. You're never going to touch this crit chance. You can get there. You can. Okay. This is going to have to be one of those things of where we're going to have to see it when it comes out. Because this does feel like an attack nerf. Like, this does feel like you're not going to be able to do as much damage adding these armor sets, but that you're going to be able to survive a lot. So that, back to iPlay's point, it does seem like it's going to help with the survivability and help people who are less skilled, help improve their skills as they keep fighting through. The crit chance and crit damage stats, I think MD is right. It's going to have to be built through substats. And quite frankly, what I need to do right now is sit down with my pen and pad and go through all of these stats and do the whole data science thing. But for right now, I think it's gonna have to be a wait and see. And I don't know why I'm so impatient. It's coming like the day after tomorrow. So anyway, there's that. Let's get back to. It's so weird because I want to figure it out now. You know what I'm saying? But it is gonna have to be a wait and see thing. But I do want to try to figure it out now. But it's a wait and see. If I think that they might be right. My chat has talked me off the ledge a little bit. It's going to be a wait and see approach. We're going to have to say, hey, look, we think it's going to help with survivability. It's going to help with lesser skill players. Are we going to be able to get our attack stats back? Not without some work. And it's going to have to be on the substats side of it. But it looks like we won't be able to hit as hard if you were using those specific accessories to build up your crit, to build up your crit damage, all that other stuff. So I think attack goes down, defense goes up. How that bears itself out with actual gameplay, we will see. We will see. To me, that makes it lend itself to longer battles, though. But whatever. We're gonna push past that because I'm gonna discuss that with my chat. I'm still in this YouTube video, so let's go ahead and get this On and popping. I'm happy though that it wasn't that none of the engraved armor will be touched. Like that was something that I misheard, and I'm so happy to be wrong. All right, so another thing that they have that they did not mention here was that I thought was huge was SR, those runes that you have to limit break your weapons. Those can now will be able to be converted into the SSR runes, so you can limit break your SSR weapons. So you can get those in the shop. I stupidly have bought some before, but now I can convert those ones that I get into SSR runes, or limit break runes, and limit break a bunch of my SSR weapons, hopefully. So that was a huge thing that I liked. One other thing, and I need to ask my stream about this. They kept mentioning about elite bosses not costing any cube keys. I play on PlayStation 5. They still cost me cube keys. The elite bosses still cost me cube keys to get the resources, the rewards. But everybody on that stream, and I guess they were all PC players, were like, no, it's great, right? We don't pay any more great. And I'm like, where do they get that at? I don't have this. What's going on? So hopefully that's just, I even checked, like, is there like a update or anything? So hopefully it's just that it hasn't come through in the PlayStation 5 patch yet. So that's cool. 2x keys, 2x rewards, meaning that you'll have to run your bosses half as much, because it's going to give you the option to say, hey, instead of using my 10 cube keys, I want to use 20 cube keys to get double the amount of rewards. So those bosses spawn back fast as hell now. That's one of my favorite things about the game now, is how fast those field bosses and elite bosses respawn. And now for those field bosses, we can go ahead and hopefully get double the rewards. And I think it applies to the boss challenges as well. Remove the use of elite monster cube keys. So that's down there. So maybe that just comes out with the next patch. But they were talking about it like it was already in the game. Daisy is being rerun. I do not know how to feel about this, because I know a lot of people love Daisy. I'm going to pull for Merlin until, like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, where that's it. I'm going to only pull for Merlin because I want Merlin P10. I won't get her P10. I'm not stupid, but I want her P10. Straight up. So I'm going to be pulling for Merlin constantly. Daisy is a good character. I didn't realize how good she was until about 2-3 weeks ago when people made me use her grimoire and level all that stuff up. Now I love her, but I love Merlin more. Daisy is a good character. She's fun to have. She's fun to play with. I was wrong with my initial review, and that was me first coming into the game, so afforded me a little bit of grace on that. But, like, she's a good character. She's worth having. I want Merlin more. That's all it boils down to. If you want Daisy more, I can't even throw shade at you. All right. So there's that. About the Star Trace crystalloids. What are you talking about? Go into that a little bit more for me, Lil Mac. All right, so Time Space Junction, Section 5 and 6, they're being released. That ain't for your boy just yet. I'm still building up my teams. I'm trying to get there, though. But I'm not hitting anybody's leaderboard anytime soon. Tyrannus, that was the sanctuary that I was talking about. That's also going to be where the raid dungeons kick off. Cannot wait for that. I think that is everything. Our mailbox is going to have a gang of rewards in them, so check your mailbox. I don't know how you not check it, because they always put like a little, but whatever. Get the stuff out your mailbox. But I think that is all that I wanted to cover in this. So we're going to give Lil Mac a second to give me his question about the Star Trace crystalloids, and then we'll call it a video. Bruh. I didn't think that armor thing was going to take up so much of, and it won't. I'm going to slice off like 40 minutes of that. A lot of that is getting sliced off, but I'm happy that we got that corrected. But base of mastery after P4, I think you'll get those crystalloids, get more back. Wait, what? So the base mastery after P4. Let me bring up the PlayStation right fast. So I'm sure I know what you're talking about. So hey, get over there. The base mastery. So when you first unlock it, I think it's every potential point, even the ones you have already, you'll get crystalloids for it. Yo. That has to be on the website somewhere. Because I did not get crystalloids for those potentials, which means that I would have a gang of crystalloids coming through. 5 per dupe for SRs, 20 per dupe for. Oh, you're talking about. Okay, I think I misunderstood what you meant by the crystalloids. You're talking about. I'm thinking of star fragments. You're talking about these. Gotcha. So they've increased it. Okay. Lord have mercy. All right. Anyway. Okay. And they increased it from, I guess it was like 10 for SSR before and then 2. And now it is 5 and 20. And then they're going to give us the makeup for it. That's awesome. Check the notes before the big one. Let's see. Let us see. Notice of change regarding, I'm guessing that's the one you mean. Equipment balance. No, that's something different. The crafting stuff, equipment revamp. Okay. I have to admit, they communicate a lot. Someone complained about the communication. I do not agree with that at all. But that's coming from the world of DC Worlds Collide, where they don't speak to people. Star Trek Crystal issue. Gotcha. First, we understand that Star Guardians have experienced a confusion regarding the patch conducted, blah, 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 blah. We sincerely apologize for the intentional confusion. Our development team is processing that. Okay, so this is them fixing something that wasn't working. Got you. Although we plan to share the related details with you in the developer's notes, unverified data that was under development during the previous update process was unintentionally applied to the actual patch, resulting in a situation where Star Trace crystalloids was rewarded in-game when achieving masteries during a specific period. We apologize once again for confusing you by exposing details before preparation. So, additional acquisition paths for the Star Trace crystalloids after version 1.5. As mentioned previously, after the version 1.5, we plan to provide additional Star Trace crystalloid paths. Star Trace crystalloids will be distributed, acquiring potential points through masteries after reaching the highest tier of potential. Star Trace crystalloid will be distributed when acquiring potential points through mastery after reaching the highest tier of potential. Isn't that P10? Or they're talking about like P4 when you finish the masteries? Because here it doesn't say, well, points through masteries. Okay, so that's P4. So Star Trace crystalloids will now be distributed when acquiring a hero through 120 loyalty draws in the pickup draw. Upon achieving 120 in the draws, Star crystalloids are 10. Upon achieving pickup superhero, blah, blah, after reaching the highest potential place is 20. Okay. Oh, yeah, and the retrospective distribution of unreceived stars. So they are. They're planning to retroactively distribute the ones that they didn't give. So that's the plan. Okay, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Don't cry yet. Real Prince, we don't want no tears. Not yet. trying to keep it positive. They said Star Trace Crystalloid will be distributed through acquiring potential points through masteries. So it sounds like as you get the masteries, after reaching the highest tier of potential. P10 would be ridiculous. That's why I was like, yo, why are y'all so excited about it? P10, I'm not touching that for a minute. But like, not to mention, and I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong. It must be P4. Because let me be real with you. If I've taken a character to P10 and all I'm getting is 20 lousy Star Trace Crystalloids, you can kiss it. Keep them. So, and. I can confirm that it is P4 because I just pulled a lane today. I think on stream, and I got 20 Star Trace Crystalloids. I remember it because I was like, that's a lot. So if you want to go back to the beginning of my stream where I was making pulls, you'll see that I have that turned my Elaine to P6. So that's after P4, not P10. So I think that's where it is. So this is my misinterpretation, my fault 100%. All right, so let me go ahead and call this a video. Transition. So 3, 2. Making this video has been a journey. I can't lie. Shout out Real Mac, shout out Real General Prince, shout out Lil Mac, shout out MD, shout out I Plays P. Who else? People who stuck with me and got my brain on the right track with some of these things. Oh, shout out to Mr. KDML. I'm guessing he had to leave already. But thank you for sticking with me because I was going to lose it and then could release a video that was completely wrong. Oh, what's up, Coax Sama? Thank you for joining. Right at the end of it all. But I like a lot of the changes coming. I like the raid. I'm curious about what the dungeons are going to bring, or what the dungeons being converted to raids, what that's going to bring. I love the fact that the boss challenges will now have the dungeon rewards and the boss challenge rewards. That's really cool. Most of all, I love Merlin coming to the game. We will see what the armor does. That was a very long conversation with me in my stream about that, trying to figure that out. But it's a wait and see approach, which, hey, patience. It's 36 hours, but we will see. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe and a dislike. I'm okay with that as well. I'll see you guys next time. This is about to be a lot of editing. Buddy. All right, cool. Cool. That was good. See, and I like the conversations like this where we're discussing it all and trying to figure out this back and forth and, all that jazz. I don't think anybody on YouTube is trying to watch that. I miss Escanor, but I got to get Merlin. Here's the funny thing about that too. I think Daisy has already come back around. Like, she wasn't that long ago. It was April 24th. We're in June 2nd. So Escanor might be not that far from being rerun. Because Escanor came after Daisy, like directly after. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, maybe you've never played games like this before. But when they do like limited time characters, they always rerun them because they always know that there are new players coming. And if Escanor was your favorite character of all time and you go to the game 3 days after he's been run and it's like, oh yeah, only once, never again, then you just be like, all right, I'm not playing this again. That's my favorite character. Why would I go you know what I mean? Like, they're going to give it another chance. Escanor 6 weeks, I can't call that. I was actually saying Escanor in 3 weeks, but I'm not saying that either. My point is I don't know how the rerun schedule worked. Like, I play Bleach Soul Resonance as well. And so that on that game, they have had a couple of reruns, but the reruns have been out of order of when the characters were released, right? So Soy Fon got a rerun before Nell, for example. That means nothing to you guys from Seven Deadly Sins, right? But they came out at different times. Look, 3 weeks would be greedy. I'm allowed to be greedy. It doesn't mean they're going to listen to me. You shouldn't listen to me either because I have no idea what I'm talking about. But in my view, I would think that, and let me go ahead and minimize this as well. I would think that Daisy only came out 6 weeks ago, right? Okay, cool. Daisy only came out 6 weeks ago, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Please, because we just had somebody look up the date. It was April 23rd because I had to go back and see if the things carried over. No, that's when Escanor came out. Daisy came out April 3rd. Okay, so 2 months. 2 months. She came out 2 months ago. Mea culpa. She came out 2 months ago, okay? If Escanor came out April 23rd and Daisy got rerun 2 months after her first release, what is 2 months later than April 23rd? Or 24th, whichever day that was. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but my logic isn't flawed. Melly, anybody new can get him, not Escanor or Daisy. Well, Daisy's going to be rerun. That's the point. So, like, if Daisy's rerun, and honestly, Melly, they're going to probably rerun Melly at some point, too. So, like, if you're... And Escanor is a popular character, too. Daisy, not as much as Escanor. And if Daisy got rerun after 2 months, let's say they wait 3 months for Escanor. We're halfway there. But, and I don't know, speculation, ain't no leaks. It's just me looking at a pattern that they may completely switch up and dump on his head. 3 weeks doesn't seem crazy to me if Daisy just came out. I think the community is crying regarding Daisy because caused them to rerun her. Maybe sooner than realized, but they were always going to rerun her. Because aside from the whole like popularity, blah, 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 blah thing, also, why would I waste the resources and the manpower to release a character that I'm only going to run for 3 weeks and never do again? Like I'm going to get more money if I pull her away for a certain amount of time and then put it back in. And then pull her away one more time, put it back in, and then we move her over to the regular hero draw tickets in like a year. Why would y'all skip Escanor though? I don't think they're going to skip Escanor. I think Escanor is just going to get a rerun after Daisy. I think they might have iPlays might be right in the sense of like the community outcry for Daisy to come be rerun. It might have pushed their schedule forward a little bit, but I am hard pressed to believe that they would never ever run Daisy again, or never ever run Escanor again, or never run Clotho again. Like they're gonna rerun these characters, of course, and have them. Here's another one. Here's another little. If I were running a business, and Seven Deadly Sins was my business, right? I'm gonna run Daisy with Merlin because that means you're more likely to open your wallet. Truth be told, and maybe they had the scheduling run up. Be on the lookout for, and I'm not saying it's gonna be anytime soon, but be on the lookout for like an Escanor rerun with Merlin, because maybe they're like, hey, look, we're gonna pause the Escanor rerun for like another 2 months, and then by that point, Merlin's gonna be 2 months away. And then we're going to rerun Escanor with a Merlin banner. Why would that be a thing? Why would that be an idea? I don't know. If there's two SSR characters that you want to pull at the same time, and you're the type of person who maybe has the money but doesn't spend that much on gaming, are you more likely to reach into your wallet? Right? You're more likely to reach into your wallet. I would. If I They're doing it now. It's just that I have Daisy. But I said that I was going to be more responsible this week and not, or this month, and not spend that much on gaming. And then they released Merlin. So if I don't get Merlin in the first 120 pulls, or if I only get one copy, I might up $5-10 to get more pulls. And I know it's like, oh, $5-10, but I'm not giving them ideas. These people know how to make money. Netmarble's been around for a minute. I'm just trying to hip you the game so that you know, so that you want to look out. I'm trying to help you out. I'm just keeping you on the lookout. What you think? I'm dead serious. What you think? Come on. You think they don't know? Netmarble's been around for a minute, and look at how much detail they put into a free-to-play game. They're not hurting for cash. They got plenty of developers on their payroll. Look at how beautiful this game is. I'm going to take you up to a sky view of the whole damn, and this is for free. You know why this is for free? They know how to get in them wallets. Like, no. You can play for free. You can play, no, it's free. No, it's free. No, go ahead. Escanor's over there, though. Oh, you didn't get them in the first 100 pulls? You want another 20? That's going to cost you 30. Oh, you're so close. It's only going to cost you 30. You know what? We don't even give you an extra. We'll give you an extra 5 pulls for 10. Oh, you didn't get it in the 5. The next 5 is going to cost you 20, though. Like, they know exactly what the hell they're doing. Don't you dare think for 1 second they're watching my stream and being like, this guy's got ideas. Bruh, please. Not never. They know exactly what to do to get me to be like, well, damn, there goes my budget for the month. Anyway, hold up. Oh, Prince, you're going to crash out on Daisy for real? I'm working for them on the low. You working for them? Bruh, they don't need me. That's why they have the $1 weapon selector. It's cheap, but it's the gateway. It's how you get your credit card into the game. You're right. Every game has it, because I can go back to DC Legends. Oh no, $1. $1. That's cool. No, $1. You get an SSR weapon. That's a $50 value right there. What the hell is that value? It's not a value. It's a false economy. There is no value in a false economy. But the ones that they assign and the people accept. What? That SSR weapon, you got what? That's like $10, right? I'll give it to you for $1. Go ahead and put your credit card number in there. We debit cards too. Go ahead. We take debit. That's fine. You remember, I don't know if you guys are old enough. You guys are old enough to remember when debit cards were not accepted online? They fixed that problem quick, fast, and in a hurry. They fixed that real quick. Put it this way. Those of you who do remember that it lasted for like 2 years, maybe 3. And then debit cards started partnering with credit card companies so they can get that money moving faster. And they figured out, oh, if you don't have credit, we know how to debit your bank account fast. Quick. In a hurry, sir. In a hurry. They knew exactly what they were doing. They're coming for your paper. Go ahead. Put it in there. It's fine. Knock yourself out. Ricksaw, I'm going to need you to slow down. My dragon's not fast enough for them big old... Wash your feet, bro. Walking out here barefoot outside with all this dog pee, and I got midnight fang poop and all that stuff, and you just barefoot out here. That's gross. That is not sanitary. That's not sanitary at all. We got dragon poop out here and you just barefooting it. Oh. Get in there, buddy. I didn't make it. Oh, well. All right, fine. Fine. Let's go find something to fight real quick. Just so I relax on the... you want to see Daisy a little bit? Damn, that's damn, that's a giant. Yeah. See, that's what I was hoping they would do with Diane. Diane should have been that size. I'll give a damn what the battle looks like. Diane should have been that size. Anyway, let's go ahead and mess with Bonacro real quick. Um, yeah, the fact this game is free does blow my mind. It should not. Sorry, I'm whistling now. I'm so passionate about it. It should not blow your mind at all. Why? Because it ain't free. I bought Madden 2026, right? It was, I remember the day specifically because my homie said, hey, look, we just bombed, like the whole, I'm not going to talk about it, but that whole situation popped off, right? And I was going to go out that night and just like, nothing crazy, but have a couple drinks, some friends. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel like it because I live in Switzerland now. I'm worried about my folks over there. Who knows what's going on? And. Like, I got a little bit, like, in my head a bit. Sat down, bought Madden, $30. And I'm sitting there like, yo, $30? I'm about to spend $30 for this game. And then I realized something. I spend more than that on these quote unquote free to play games monthly. So why on earth am I worried about Daisy? So much fun to play with. So why on earth am I worried about $30 one time for a full game when there are two games that I play that require more financial investment? Right? Why? Why am I too worried about that? Because it's the concept. It is the idea of, oh, I got to pay $30 right now. Whereas, oh, $5 here, $5 there, $10 here. Wait, I spent how much this month on this? Hold up. Why aren't you dying? Why aren't you taking hits? Why is he not taking hits anymore? What was that? So you just decided you don't want to be hit anymore, so you just don't get hit anymore? That's how that goes. Where they do that at? He just don't want to be hit no more, so he's just not going to be hit no more. Lay down. He's just not taking damage. Like, what is this? You stop that now, sir. Okay. You're spending your time. Time is valuable. Facts. Remember that as you get older. Because you'll realize I have, at a certain point, I'll have said this in, what was that movie? Denzel Washington? I have more days behind me than I do in front of me. There's going to be a line where that happens where you're starting to think. Like, now I'm at the line where it's like, I might have more behind me than in front of me at this age. I don't know. If I eat healthy and stay up to date, whatever, I should be fine. But you never know. I'm at an age where I'm hearing a lot of people around my age waking up dead. And I'm like, yo, that guy's only 8 years older than me. How did that happen? Uh-oh. Natural causes. Nuh-uh. Time is valuable. Sorry, tangent. Boy, oh boy. Anyway, I'm not peeping any game to you to Netmarble. Please believe they already know this, which is why they're doing the rerun the way that they're doing it. Merlin has been a character that is very popular, that a lot of people want. Facts. And Daisy is something that the community, from what y'all say, has been like asking for. So run them at the same time. Why? Why do I even do this? That's such a habit for me now. I've been doing that so long. It's such a damn habit. Hey, get over here. Kuya. Pain don't hurt. Oh no, bye. You better not start with that nonsense. Okay. We're gonna leave you alone. And go back to. Oh wait, the respawns of these bosses, it respawns the full thing, so I don't have to worry about being attacked immediately. All right. Let's go ahead and take that. Oh, also, make sure to go in here every day and collect this stuff. Also, in the event story, where I will be able to get another 100 without. I haven't run this dungeon in I don't know how many days. Um, no, 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 no. I am 42. 26, you got plenty more days in front of you than behind you. Please believe. I am 42, which means when I do that math real fast, will I live to 84? Mm, possibly. Pretty good chance, given modern medicine. Ain't no damn guarantee. This is not NTE, but chicken is on the stove. What? Um, so who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Hey, yo, y'all gonna let me do this or not? Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and clear these missions real fast. And then I'm gonna have to call it a stream. I expected to do a couple of videos today. Um, and then we got so caught up in the armor thing, and I need to release that video today. So I'm gonna have to like cut it short and edit that video so I can release it in like an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah. And then I guess I'm not gonna mess with any of these dungeons. I genuinely don't know if I should just save my cube keys. And I don't want to do the boss challenges right now because if they're gonna add something to the boss challenges, you will by the time it will similar to Cyberpunk. I saw Cyberpunk, that series. I'm not trying to be a part of that world. That was one of the most depressing. Like, I think I've said this before on this stream. Everybody I've told that I've watched it, it's a really good series. Do not watch it right before going to bed. Not because it's like scary or anything else. It's going to really make you think about certain things in your life. It did for me. And that was just like it was intense. It was so intense that I ended up watching I remember now because I had to try to remember. I used to say Disney movies as a default. When I watch like a scary movie, I'll watch a Disney movie after that just so I can like cleanse my palate with Genie from Aladdin or something. You know what I mean? Like, let me go ahead and watch Big Hero 6 one time. I know that has a sad part, but it's really in the beginning. So like I'll watch that to cleanse my palate real fast. It was good though. I recommend people watch it if they have a strong enough constitution. But you can't watch that late at night if you already thinking about some stuff in life and now you see that dog. Or maybe I took it too existential and I was like, look, but it was really like the things you will do for happiness and the things or for what you think happiness means to you, the things you will do for survival, and the things that you will put yourself through because you want somebody else to live better. Man, that gave me chills just thinking about it. Like, bruh, if you truly love somebody or you really want to see them succeed, the things that you will put yourself through to get that to happen, man, bruh. That ending, and then making it, being the one to have had someone sacrifice for you, making it, and then having that survivor's guilt and feeling like you owe them to be better, bruh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But that wasn't even like a for those who come after. Spoiler alert on Cyberpunk. That wasn't even like for those who come after though. That was because like that is me being married to someone. And I'm sacrificing my life so my wife can get to a better place. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to give like real world examples because it is Cyberpunk. But there are very similar things of like, if you're in a situation where, and I know you guys will say this is dramatic, but please believe there have been enough wars to where people have really done this, where it's like, I have a contingency plan. I do have a contingency plan, for example. And it is if I live in Europe, I live in Switzerland, if things pop off super weird, then how do you move after that, right? If things are really collapsing, like truly, 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 how do you move after that? First thing, kids got to get out. Son's about to be 19. Daughter is 9. Her mom, stepdad, right? First thing is, y'all are on a train out of here. If I'm involved in any way, shape, or form, if there's anything I can do, I stay behind. Right? Because my daughter's got to get there, not me. Does that make sense? If my wife is in a situation, it was what was the name of the movie with Russell Crowe? I can never remember the name of that movie with Russell Crowe, but it was his wife was accused of murder, right? And it was one of those like he needs to figure out. It was it great? No, but it was pretty good. But it was that's your wife, and the evidence is stacked that she killed that person. No spoilers. Do you ride? Do you ride with her? Like, I love you. You are my wife. Do you ride with her? And at the end of the day, are you going to send her with the idea of, I'm going to try to get to you, but if I can't because I got caught up by the feds, then you don't come back for me. You go live and I'll take it. Bruh. And that was encapsulated in Cyberpunk, where it was like, again, spoiler for Cyberpunk, the Netflix series. If you don't want to hear it, end it. That was one of those of like, he knew he wasn't finna make it, but he wasn't gonna let her stay. And the way that it went down too. No, that's how it's supposed to be. I'm a romantic. That's how it's supposed to be. But the way that it went down, because it wasn't one of those like, I guess sometimes you think of like a peaceful passing or a Man on Fire, Denzel Washington movie, right? Spoiler for Man on Fire, I haven't seen the new version. There's supposed to be like a new one coming out, right? Spoiler, one of my favorite movies of all time. Facts is such a good movie, right? Una palabra, no dice nada. I love that song. Love that damn song. The idea of what happened, because that's based off of a true story, and from what I understand, the man who Denzel Washington played, he's in a car. Spoiler for Man on Fire. That's a really good movie. Really stop watching my stream. He is in that car about to hand himself over so she can be released, right? You just see him drive off. You look the way it looks like he's 30 seconds away from dying. Literally, from what I understood, the agent who was involved in that did not die immediately. He was tortured for 6 months. But they don't put that in the movie because now you were already sad, but you're happy that the girl got home, right? Who had a piece of father, but whatever. You're happy that the girl got home. Okay, cool. Denzel does this noble act, which we won't talk about race relations and noble acts, but he does this noble act, right? Cool. He goes off. And the idea we have in our head is that on the ride there, when they're about to go torture Buddy, he probably died because he went through it to get her out. Real life, 6 months of torture. Cyberpunk 2077, it was like, okay, she gets to go off. He is getting destroyed. No chance. No chance. You thought like maybe that, none whatsoever. And it is heartbreaking to see. To me, at least, it was brutal and heartbreaking to see that, to see like his dreams die in that moment. Like his dreams were already like on life support to begin with. Like, bruh. Whew, let me stop. Anyway, dude, literally they showed the path would end based on 2 people ahead of David, which we knew, but we pretended he was different. Exactly. And that's the thing, because okay. Such a good series. Really good series. But damn it if it's not, it's heartbreaking. Okay. Let me stop. I said I was going to stop 10 minutes ago. But Cyberpunk, it was such a good series. But man, it put a hole in your chest. Bruh, it was put a hole in your chest. Really well done. Man on Fire too. Shout out. Love that movie. And whichever one that Russell Crowe one was, because it really was like, yo, it's my wife. She's telling me she's innocent. All the evidence says she's guilty. And his basic question was like, should I believe her or not? My question would have been different. Should I believe her or not? Because if I believe her, there's no way that she's going to get out of this. So let's get out of here. Or I don't believe her, so I turn her in. I'm different, and we'll end the stream on this note, because if I'm down for you and you do that, if you kill a person, I mean, if it's like a nun or like a social worker who helps, children with no homes, okay, yeah, I'm turning you into the but if it's like a situation where you were just wrong place, wrong time, or whatever, I just don't lie to me about it. Be like, yo, I did kill Buddy. You did? What do you do? That's my name. What did he do? He tried to grab me in the middle. Okay, cool. Enough said. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get the cash out. I'm going to need you to buy 2 plane tickets and 2 train tickets. We're taking neither one of those. We're going to rent a car in my homeboy's name. We're going to drive down to Italy. We hop in a ferry. We headed to North Africa. From North Africa, we're going to go. I'm deuces. Out of here. Because the legal system doesn't always work. Out of here. We're chucking the deuces. Just don't lie to me about it. If you're going to tell me the truth, like, no. He was coming at me. It was about to be an assault. I defended myself, and then I got a little bit too overeager when he was on the ground, and I hit him in the face with a rock. He stopped moving. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and need you to pack 2 bags. I'm going to get 2 bags. We're going to go ahead and pack up some food. We got to settle the tickets. We're going to buy a bunch of tickets. You know why? Because they're going to be looking for my credit card charges. I already got a card right here. That, don't worry about where I got it from. Pulling all the money out of our account. We're about to go build another life in the Philippines. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Have a good evening. I'll talk to you guys next time.